Welcome to the Short-Term Rental Playmaker Podcast, where we break down what it really takes to win in short-term rentals in today's market. From insider tips and emerging trends to real conversations with top playmakers in the space, this show gives you the tools, strategies, and mindset to build and scale a successful short-term rental business. Now, here's your host, Joe Roney.
Today's episode is brought to you by Savvy STR Agents, the short-term rental real estate experts helping investors find profitable vacation rental properties nationwide. If you're serious about scaling your STR portfolio, Savvy STR Agents should be your first call.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Short-Term Rental Playmaker Podcast. Just going to do a little solo jam with you guys today to talk about where we are. We are in May, right? We are 1/3 of the way completed through the year. So if you haven't done so, you should be looking at, how did your first quarter to quarter and a half go? Like what's going on? There's been a lot of updates, a lot of changes. A few weeks ago, Airbnb decided not to charge 15.5%, and then they changed their mind and said they did. Glitch in the system, who knows? But we are 3.5 to 4 weeks away from the peak season, right? Memorial Day weekend really is what kicks off your summer season. And the things that we're going to talk about today is a little bit about booking lead times, and what you've done over the past couple weeks to get ready for this, and what you can do over the next 2 weeks to make sure you're prepared for a peak season, because we're in that space, right? We are in the hospitality space. And we want to make sure that we are creating really great experiences for our guests over the next 2.5 to 3 months, because this is their summer vacation. They've saved thousands of dollars, sometimes some of these $10,000 for these vacations to take their family on their one big family vacation for the year. And I just want to make sure that you as a host remember that, right? So it's so easy to get into the day in and day out and be frustrated and have some guests that are needy and some that are just amazing and some that leave that 4-star review. But at the end of the day, we're here for one reason, and we're here to create a great guest experience. So one of the things I want to talk about is something that we've been doing over the last 2 weeks. So a lot of people like to do their deep cleans in the winter months. And depending on your market, a deep clean in January and February by far makes sense. For me, in our market, spring break is a really heavy month. And it's a heavy month for younger travelers. And, even though I've very, very good luck with my younger travelers, there's more a chance for incidentals to happen when you have college students, people in their mid to early 20s, or tons of families coming down for spring break. So we actually decided a couple years ago to, we do like a semi-deep clean when the summer is over, but we actually have decided we're doing our full, pull everything out, deep cleans, inventories, resupplying everything at the middle of April when we go into those last 2 weeks of April. And we've done this for those couple reasons. Obviously, like I said, at the end of the season, we're restocking supplies to make sure we're good to go for the winter and into spring break. And, we're still going in and doing some of those, monthly maintenance checks and checking those things. But we've found for us the success rate with our 5-star reviews, with providing that great experience during the summer months, is much better if we wait until after spring break, because we get such a heavy use for about 5 or 6 weeks. And then it's kind of, we got a couple weeks to reset, revamp a few things, and then bam, it's all here again. In my previous life, when I was in the lawn and garden center at Lowe's, I used to be a garden center manager and then assistant store manager. And we called this the 100 days of hell, right? It started around April 15th. And went through, roughly Labor Day, right? So, we're going into, it's not a full 100 days, but our 75, 80 days of crazy, crazy peak season. And it's fun. It's my favorite time of year to be a vacation rental host and a vacation rental manager, because we are obviously in a business that we want to make a profit on, and we're going to see more profit in those summer months than we are any other time of the year. So it's an exciting time. We're only 2.5 weeks away from this episode airing, from that beginning. So you still have roughly 2 weeks. Now, your May be full. Maybe it's not. ideally, nobody's 100% full the first couple weeks of May. You're probably going to get your weekends booked, maybe even get a week-long booking. And my beachfront homes are pretty booked the whole month. But we still have some openings, and that's okay because we're doing those last couple minute touches. And again, we did them over the last 2 weeks, but if you haven't done so, you have 2 weeks to do it. You have 2 weeks to get into your property, whether it be you or your handyman or your cleaners or whatever it may be, to make sure you have everything that you need for this peak season. This is it. This is the final time you might even see your house until peak season is over, because most of the time it is back-to-back bookings all the way through the summer. So if you're in that position and you're wondering, all right, I'm at the peak season, I'm a little nervous. This could be your very first peak season of your first ever short-term rental. It's not too late to go in and just spend a day or two. Even if you just go and spend the night and learn a little bit about your house. So it's going to help you with your guests. One more thing, if you haven't done so, get your HVAC cleaned. Call an HVAC company out today. Tell them to come out and do a service. It's going to probably cost you $300. It's going to prevent that AC from going out on Friday night, 4th of July weekend, when you can't get anybody there. Not saying it won't happen, but it's going to give you a better likelihood of getting through the peak season. Your pool pumps, pool supplies. We're actually ordering right now. We actually just did, ordered new beach chairs and wagons for a few properties and some beach toys to make sure that we have plenty for our guests that are coming in, because, like I said, we want to provide a great guest experience. And whether they're staying in your property for 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, doesn't matter. It's what they could afford for their summer trip, for their little vacation with their family, with their friends, whatever it may be. And it's really important that you're doing what it takes today to be prepared for that. Now, we're going to kind of shift gears because that's what we're doing currently. We are in May. I want to talk about your calendar. I want to talk about what your booking lead time and your booking window is. And I just saw a post the other day, and someone was like, "Oh my God, my summer's not booked, and I keep dropping my prices, and I'm still not getting booked." Stop dropping your prices. I'm telling you right now, please stop dropping your prices, because all you're doing is a disservice for yourself. The booking windows nationwide have gone down so much over the past couple of years, and every year the booking lead times continually get less and less. And even for 5 and 6 bedroom homes, I'm seeing a lot of booking lead times under 30 or under 45 days. And if you have your calendar and it's only 25 or 30% booked at this point, it's going to be okay. You do need to make sure you're in it daily. You need to be checking your competition, need to be checking local events, and making minor adjustments. Now is the time to make sure that you're top of the search rankings and that your listing is fully optimized and ready to go. But if you're a 7 now, I will say, if you're a 7-night minimum on your calendar right now and it's May 6th, drop that. Go down to the 3-2-1 strategy. Three nights on the weekend, 2 nights on the weekdays, 1 night when you get under 10 days, or 1 night when you get under for those gap nights. I don't go down to a 1-night minimum on weekends ever, Fridays or Saturdays. That's something that we don't do, because more than likely we'll get a last-minute weekend booking if we're not already booked. But we will go down to 1-night minimums at the beach during the summer, and it's rare that we get a 1-night stay. But what it does is bump our search rankings up and helps us get those days booked. I'm at the end of April now filming this, and we just got a 7-night stay at 7 a.m. for a 6 p.m. check-in today. They're like, "Hey, can we check in at 6 p.m.?" We're kind of in a little bit of the shoulder season in the between spring break and summer. 7-night booking last minute the day before at decent rates, right? I mean, no, are we $1,300 a night like we are in the summer? No, but we're still in the $300 a night range. And, that's $2,100 booking with just net rents that we got last minute. So, I like to tell the story about my 2-bedroom going into 2024 on May 26th or 27th. We're like 5 days before June, Memorial Day weekend, going into peak summer in June. And my 2-bedroom had no bookings for the month of June. I'll be honest. It was my third season hosting. I was a little bit nervous. Definitely, was a little bit, hesitant, but I decided I didn't want to drop my prices. I decided just to adjust my calendar and my settings and make a few minor adjustments, but I didn't lower my prices. And we booked all but 2 nights at a 17% increase over 2023. So now it was a 2-bedroom home. 2-bedroom homes are definitely going to be your more last-minute stays. I wouldn't necessarily, if you have a 6-bedroom home and you're May 26th and you don't have any bookings for your summer, there's something wrong, right, on a 6-bedroom home. But if you have a 2-bedroom home or even a 3-bedroom home and your bookings are a little bit light, it's okay. You're going to fill the gap. You're going to fill those bookings. There's been a lot of uncertainty in the economy. There's been a lot of people that have said they're getting cancellations because of uncertainty between what's going on across the pond and all that stuff. People are still going to take their summer vacations. And if you have a quality product and a quality listing, you're going to get booked. And you do need to make some adjustments. You need to make some minor things. Look at your hero photo, all that stuff. All that stuff plays a part. But definitely don't panic. Don't just start giving 50% discounts for the summer because you're not 100% booked. I had somebody call me the other day and they said, "Oh, we're 100% booked for the summer, but I can't book in April." I'm like, "Oh my God, you're 100% booked in the summer? Like you shouldn't be. Like I don't want to be 100% booked for the summer and this was early April. That's way too soon for my summer to be booked." That tells me that they left a lot of money on the table. And when we dug down, they were booking, their property manager that was helping them was booking at $1,000 to $1,500 a week less than their closest competitors. I mean, that's costing them $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month during the peak season. And they thought they were excited because they had the summer booked, but it wasn't really the case. So, we're operators, we're entrepreneurs. Whether you're owning your properties, it's your first listing, or if you're your 50th, like I had Brian on last week, just don't hit the panic button yet. It's all going to work out. Stay positive and have a great summer in your booking season. So that's all I got this week on the Short Term Rental Playmaker podcast. I will talk to you soon. Thanks.